Hello everybody, what we want to do here is to factorise this cubic into three linear factors. Now what we'll do here is we'll use the remainder theorem first of all to find out if we can find a factor that leaves a remainder of 0. So we'll do a kind of a test here. So I'll write out this as a polynomial. P for polynomial. And what we'll do then is we'll make a series of systematic guesses. What if x minus 1 is a factor? What if x plus 1 is a factor? What if x minus 2 is a factor? What if x plus 2 is a factor? And what if x minus 3 is a factor? Well, if x minus 1 is a factor and we substitute in 1, then if the remainder is 0, then x minus 1 will be a factor. So this is 1 cubed minus 3 times 1 squared minus 10 times 1 plus 24. Now 1 plus 24 is 25. Take away minus 3 times 1 is minus 3. That's minus 10, and that would be 12. So since 12 is not 0, x minus 1 is not a factor, since it leaves a remainder of 12. What about x plus 1? Well, if x plus 1 was a factor and we substituted in minus 1, we'd have to get a remainder of 0. So this would be minus 1 cubed minus 3 times minus 1 squared minus 10 times minus 1 plus 24. Now, minus 1 cubed is 1, minus 1 squared is 1, minus 3 times 1 is minus 3, minus 10 times minus 1 is 10 plus 24. Now that's equal to 10 plus 24 is 34. Take away 1, take away another 3 is 30. Well, since we end up with a remainder of 30, x plus 1 can't be a factor. If x minus 2 is a factor and we substitute in x equals 2, then we should find that we get a remainder of 0. So 2 cubed minus 3 times 2 squared minus 10 times 2. Everywhere there's an x, I put in a 2. So this will be 2 cubed is 8 minus, now 2 squared is 4, 3 take away 4, 3 times 4 is 12, 10 times 2 is minus 20 plus 24. Now 8 plus 24 is 32, and minus 12 minus another 20 is minus 32. Oh, look at that, our remainder is 0, so x minus 2 must be a factor. Let's divide over the next page. Okay, now if we're dividing these two polynomials, this one by this one, how many times does x go into x cubed? Well, we'll have to go in x squared times. Now, x squared times x is x cubed, and x squared times minus 2 is minus 2x squared. Now, if we take these away one from the other, x cubed take away x cubed is 0. Minus 3x squared minus negative 2, well, minus a negative is a positive, so this would be minus x squared and minus 10x and plus 24. Just come straight down. Alrighty, well, how many times does x minus 2 go into x squared? It would have to go into minus x times. Minus x times x is minus x squared, and minus x times minus 2 is plus 2x. Now when I take them away one from the other, minus a minus is a plus, so minus x squared plus x squared is 0. Minus 10x minus another 2x is minus 12x plus 24. Now how many times does x minus 2 go into minus 12x plus 24? Minus 12 times. So minus 12 times x is minus 12x, and minus 12 times minus 2 is plus 24. Now when I take these away from one another, they all cancel out. So what I'm going to get is x cubed minus 3x squared minus 10x plus 24. If we divide it by x minus 2, we'll get x squared minus x minus 12. Now what we can do is we'll factorise this thing here, which will become x minus 4, x plus 3, and take this factor up to the top here. So all this factorises into 3 linear expression, with 3 linear factors. Alrighty, Year 12, well I hope that helped, and I'll see you in class.